First things first. Usually, when they're on the rebound, a lot of the times they're gonna start off pretty fast. And the reason why is this is because they're hurt, right? And they're looking for a connection. And what people don't understand is that when you fall in love with someone, it's almost like a drug. And it's almost like when somebody doesn't have their weed, if somebody doesn't have their crack, they'll result to drinking alcohol or other forms of drugs. People pretty much use drugs as a suppressant, as a way to suppress negative emotions, and a way to suppress their negative self-image that they have. So they rely on validation. And so when people start off really fast, right, and it fizzles out, it's because they're on the rebound. And if the person who they were with returns to their life, they'll go back and pretty much just dump you without any cause. Right? And this happened to me where I was dating this one girl, and yeah, she just got cheated on by her ex. A month later, she met me. She started off really fast, and then she quickly fizzled out. And the reason why was because she just needed validation from somebody that looked like her ex. I remember one time I legit got over an ex because the girl that I was with kind of looked like my ex from an above angle. I was like sleeping on her lap, and when I looked up, I was like, holy fuck, it's her. And ever since then, I got over it. It was the weirdest thing, right? So it's very similar to that. When people are on the rebound, you'll see it in their eyes. They're very romantic. They want romanticism, intense romanticism. And usually it's because it's almost like when your dog dies, right? If your dog dies, a lot of people buy a dog that looks similar to the other dog, and the dog is like, woof, woof, why the fuck does this person like me so much, right? Well, it's because they're on the rebound, emotional rebounding. And usually those things fizzle out pretty fast, right? And it's because of this, the second reason. And by the way, anytime somebody tries to start strong, tell them to slow their hot ass down. Tell them to slow the fuck down. If you tell them to slow down, you'll be able to see, one, their reaction and see their intention, and two, it'll give you power. Like, it'll just give you power. And when I mean power, I mean this. It'll give you leverage. It'll give you the ability to show it, to be needy. Like, honestly, like you're gonna be able to even do things that you usually can't do because it looks needy, simply because you told them to slow down. You gain power by slowing things down, right? Slowing things down is pretty much it shows that you have control over the pace, right? Now the next one is projection. The first one was the fact that maybe they need a romanticism to feel good about themselves, and they're using you for it, right? But the second one is that it's very similar. It's a projection. So maybe you remind them of an ex. That's one thing. Or maybe you remind them of a father figure, mother figure, right? Or maybe you remind them of somebody that played them. Maybe you remind them of a comforting figure. The point is that when there's a projecting mechanism, people start off pretty intensely. Like, it's just how that works, right? And the way that you know it is because they're sort of treating you in a way, and you sort of feel the pressure, right? They put you, if maybe if the woman never had a dad, the woman will start to act like a little girl around you, right? And this also happens with guys, where if a guy didn't have a strong motherly figure who comforted him, a lot of times these guys will be attracted to women who are cold, right? Because the coldness reflects and reminds them of the coldness of their mother or father, right? And so they'll want to win you over in an unconscious way to make up for the lack of love they got, or the lack of winning over the love of their parents, right? And so projecting mechanism is the fact that you just remind them of someone. It's almost like when people are at war, and let's just say you're white and I'm black, and you're at war with the blacks, right? Right? He admitted he's black. Yeah, I know. And so you're at war with the blacks, right? And you see a random black guy, and you're like, oh, look at them, they're the blacks, right? What would happen is that projecting mechanism, you're seeing somebody and seeing who they are, and you're just assuming attributes about them because they kind of look like somebody who you're at war with. That looking like isn't just looking like them. It could be that you behave like them, you dress like them, or you have an attitude like them, or you make them feel a certain way that reminds them of someone, right? So that's one thing. projecting, and usually the projections tend to get less intensified the more they know you. People use this as a strategy to get people to fall in love, and the way that this works is that you keep them at a distance, but if you allow them to get close to you, what will happen is that they're going to get disappointed because they never really were interacting with you. They were interacting with a mirage. And what will happen is that those people will lose interest once they really get to know who you are. And then they'll bounce from person to person, whoever can activate this projecting mechanism. And they'll never truly find someone. The next one is thrill seekers. People who seek dopamine. And these people, they're very excited to see you. Once you validate them, they leave. These people are thrill seekers. People who can never stay still, people who need constant validation, constant stimuli. You'll be able to know who these people are a lot of the times because they may have some history of addiction. They may have some history of not being able to control their impulse. They're bad with managing their money. This is not all the time, but thrill seekers a lot of the times usually love hard and leave hard, right? Now the next one is narcissistic love bombers, right? Fucking kamikaze motherfuckers. And these guys and women, I've met them too. These people, they don't give a fuck about you. They will love bomb you. They'll tell you everything you want to hear. Stay away from people like that. Anytime somebody starts to express to you how they feel too fast, too soon, too intensely, and do not misinterpret that as confidence, okay? Because if he or she was ugly, you'd be like, oh, this person's creepy, okay? No, this is inappropriate. Somebody tries to love bomb you, what they're trying to do is to get you to fall in love. Or they're either trying to get you to fall in love or they're just trying to fuck with you. Same shit. Right? And these love bombers, they're everywhere. And how do you know them? Because they start off too strong. They start complimenting you too fast. They start talking about the future. They start telling you how you're the perfect person. They start giving you gifts. They start trying to flatter you and going above and beyond. They literally try to skip certain steps in the relationship. They text you a lot, good morning, and all that kind of stuff. Usually the way relationships work is that it starts off slow and speeds up and gains unstoppable momentum. Usually anything that's worthwhile in nature starts off slow and gets stronger over time. The perfect example is humans. We have the longest incubation period and longest period of dependency. After that, I believe it's chimps or monkeys. But if you notice, the most intelligent creatures usually have the slower start, right? So usually the best relationships have the slower start. The most toxic ones have the faster start. So let's just put that as one of those rules. Slow them the fuck down if you want this relationship to work, right? And if they're really a narcissist and you try to slow them down, you'll see it in their face. They get mad. Usually those are the narcissists because they're truly doing that to control you. Next one is lust, right? They find you really attractive, right? Want to tap that ass, right? And this is pretty much self-evident, right? And the way you know this is that once they get you, they leave. And this happens a lot, right? This usually happens in Tinder. Tinder is pretty big on that. And some women complain how guys do that. Well, women do this a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially the women, especially in my life, women who want a brother in their life. Now the next one is they have no self-control, right? Now usually this one's really, really hard to tell whether or not they're gonna fizzle out. But usually when somebody starts off strong, I'm telling you, they have no self-control. They have intense emotions that they cannot control. And nothing wrong with liking someone fast. You could definitely. I've been with people that, women. I've been that I literally had to control myself, right? But I did control myself, and it speaks to my ability to control myself. Even if this person doesn't fizzle out, you want someone who can control those emotions, because if they don't show lack of control, not just here, they'll show lack of control with not being able to not cheat on you, not being able to control their money, their finances. They have no impulse control. In other words, they have no self-awareness, no emotional intelligence. And that's honestly one of the worst traits anybody can have, lacking emotional intelligence. You don't want somebody like that. They're going to make you... People who have no emotional intelligence will literally blow your mind with their stupidity. Let me not even go there, man. Anyways, man. So this is why they start strong and fizzle out pretty fast. Usually they just didn't like you. They liked how you look. You reminded them of someone. You know, you created a projecting mechanism, They love new things, and just like a child who plays with his toys on Christmas and doesn't play with them the next day. That's what usually happens. A lot of times they're narcissists who love bombs, right? A lot of times they have just a lot of lust for you, looking good, and then they just have no self-control, you know. And it's always best to deal with these people by telling them, hey, slow your hot ass down, all right? I'm gonna be here. I would prefer if we just take this one step at a time. And you could tell so much about them based on how they react to that proposition. Okay? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with Father Alex one-on-one, you guys have been calling me a lot this week, people. I mean, I don't have no time to freaking breathe. Yeah, man. Anyways, take care, and I'll see you guys later. By the way, if you guys want to learn how to prevent somebody from love bombing you, I would highly recommend you check out my course, The Psychological Game of Attraction. It's a course that I made for you guys who are single, for you guys who are, and also it could be for people who are in relationships, to be honest with you, but this course is made to prevent this from happening. This course is literally a course that I made specifically for women that are single. And I break down the course into three areas. The pre-honeymoon period, when you're getting to know someone. The honeymoon period, when things are at its peak. And the post-honeymoon period, when things naturally go down. In other words, pre-honeymoon period, honeymoon period, post-honeymoon period. And we could all be in this stage in a 5-year relationship. You could be with someone for 5 years where you guys are not talking that much, where you feel like you don't know them. And so this stage, the honeymoon period, the pre-honeymoon period, it can apply for relationships. And the honeymoon period is when things are great, things are peaking, everything is great. And that could be in the beginning of the relationship, or maybe at a certain point in the relationship when you guys are great. And then you have the post-honeymoon period, which is usually the come down. And these stages happen in every relationship, in the beginning and even towards the end. For a 5-year relationship to a 25-year relationship. So check out this course. It's more for women who are single. So check it out. Click in the description down below. And if you don't like it, just let me know and I'll give you your money back. And I won't close the channel, okay?